Hey guys, how's it going? Hey, I picked up this mini bike. I believe it's a Bridgestone Chibi, something like that. About a year or two ago at a yard sale. I think they're asking like 120 bucks. I offered 80 bucks. They said sure very quickly. So I don't know if that's a bad sign or a good sign. Anyway, it looks like it's lived its life with a 10 or 12-year-old riding it around. Judging by the fact that the back tire is bald and the front one still has tread on it. Whatever's going on with that gas tank with bodywork and that homemade inner tube seat that is on it. But hey, let's go get her over on the lift, bring it up, and see what we got. See if we can revive it or at least figure out what happened to it to the point where it died. Well, all right, let's see what we got. Regular kick. I don't know if it has gears or not. Great kickstart, air cleaner. It's got the carb. What's that setup called? Where it draws the fuel right into the bottom of the crankcase. There's a name for it. Is that missing hardware right there? No. My guess is probably like 1970 for a year. Got a tiny sprocket on it, huh? Yeah, it does have shifts. So, I don't know what it has for gears. Does it have a clutch? Let's see what we got. It goes into the crankcase, I think. I think it had a clutch. The cable just pulled right out of there. It wasn't even connected to anything. So yeah, it's definitely going to need some love. Looks like it's got the original muffler on it. I don't see any blowouts anywhere on that. Looks like they took the resonator out of it. The baffle. Seat. What do we got for a gas tank? Oh, that don't sound good. I think we're gonna have our work cut out for us. Well, I guess we look into the engine and see if the engine is any good, and we'll start working our way out from there. Let's see, screws missing from the cover. It's got one there, one there. That's it. 2 screws holding the cover on, so that's not a good sign. Headlight's still on it. And it has the foldaway headlights like the Honda 50 did too. It's like somebody spilled some paint on it. Alright, let's get you popped in a stand. We'll get the plug out of it and we'll throw a little bit of oil down the cylinder and we'll see if we can get her to I would definitely say, as far as the mini bike's concerned, it's a fairly high-end one. It's got front and rear suspension and a transmission. Most of the stuff you saw in that time was a little oil on it. It's gonna get a little more. You know, just like your regular stuff that was sold at Sears with like a 3.5 horse Briggs motor on it. Let's see if she. Let me back you up a little. See if it chugs over at all. Oh yeah. She's getting compression. Let's get some. Is that the exhaust making that noise? Let's throw the plug in it and see if we get any spark. That's always the tell, right? Oh yeah. She wants to play. Awesome. Let's you know what's next. Let's go dribble a little bit in there and kick it and see what we get. Let's check the air system first real quick. Let's make sure there's no mouse nests in there. That is going to gotta be careful with that. That boot's ripped right there. We'll just take a peek down the hole. Looks good. Yeah, let's go dribble a little bit in there and give her a kick, see if she makes any noise. It's probably the envy of every 10-year-old on the block, whoever had this. Give her some of that. I don't know if it's a copy of something. That they put their name on. It does look very similar to like a Honda 50 though. Let's see if I can hop my ass up there. Fall. you're running for a long time too, and that little bit of fuel. How's that, huh? All right. She will live. Let's look into where the carb is. Let's just get some stuff off that looks like somebody's really been screwing around with. Like I said, the other cover only has 2 screws in it. What would they be taking off to get in there? To the sprocket? Get the shifter off. Yeah, let's take some stuff off. We'll take a quick look and assessment on things and see what's going on. That might be an issue. Maybe it was popping the chain off. They had to keep digging it out of the front of the case. What you should probably do just for time. Let's air up the tires and see what they do. See if they'll hold the air pressure. And now they got nothing in them. Again, who knows how long it sat. That's just enough. We'll do the same on the back. Yeah, we'll try that. It's missing a chain guard too. On these, you got to get the bolt. You got to take the bolt all the way out because the bolt is kind of like a retainer. It's not just for the tightening down on threads. It also there's like a channel inside the shaft that the bolt falls into. So you got to take them all the way out. Your room to clear? Come on. Got a GM screwdriver in there. Get a little bit of expansion. Get her to open up a little. I think the engine's loose. Should that be doing that? Yeah, definitely looks like it's been beat on just a tad. Let's go get. There's one there. I don't know if we have to take these off or not. That may just be access like to the magneto. What you probably do too is bump it in gear, and just make it has gears. You always figure what's the last thing that it wasn't rode for. Was there only the 2? There's that. I would normally take the kickstand off, the foot pegs. I don't know if you can see it. They welded them solid. What can we do to? How much do we have to go to get out of that? Actually, we might make it. That's a bushing. That part right there is a kind of bushing. I'm going to go wiggle at that. You should be able to drop it down. Maybe we'll take a grinder and just clip a little bit of that off right there for future access to give us room. And it's almost there. Let's see if you could trim a little bit of that away right there. We got it? Oh, so close. There you go. That's a nugget or something. Yeah, let's go take a better look at what's happening inside there. I don't see any major sticking out right away. Let's go check for the bottom end of the cranks if you play in it. I don't feel anything. Need in where? Japan. That's what I figure, yeah. It is missing a bottom bolt right there. That's why the engine's swinging around. So it's got one bolt there. And whatever this bracket is coming down, yeah, it's not much holding it. You think there was something there too? There's a mount hole. I don't know, would have like a, what's this one too? Is this another one? Right there. Where's the cover? Oh, no. That was just a little screw hole. Let's go take a peek at the other side, see if it tells us any kind of story. Yeah, that one doesn't even look like it's tight. It's not. Yeah, so half a bolt's kind of holding it in. This one's all bent up to that foot peg's out of whack. Looks like it actually was it always part of, like, was that a boltable part that's supposed to come off or not on the kickstand on the other side? This one looks like that's the way it is, you know. Yeah. Right, look at the screw, how boogered up the screws are. Let's go get this cover off of this side, and we'll just do a little bit more exploratory. I just want to make sure there's nothing terminally ill that's going to be more cost prohibitive than it really is. Front lever's bent going up. I don't think that's supposed to be like that. And the retainers for the rear wheel, like they're missing. Half the stuff's not even there. This is what holds you balance the back wheel, and without this kind of stuff on there, sometimes when you hit the throttle, it'll suck the back tire forward, pop the chain off. All right, yeah, let's get this off of there, see if there's what other meatball stuff we can find. See if you can be gingerly with this plastic that's here, or the rubber. Let's get rid of the tire wrap. See if we can get tension off of that. Just get that out of there without trashing it. That one looks okay. I think the damage is on this boot. So there's a spring on the bottom of it, so you can pop that off. There's just some of the tension. Well, this has to come off before the side cover comes off anyway. Should be able to just slide this up, I would think. We'll just leave it right there. Let's go get those screws out. If we can. They probably didn't use the right screwdriver on it. It's called JAS. That's what this is. Looks like a Phillips, but it's not. A rat come jumping out. Dripping a little bit of oil. I think I got a drain plug or something, or a filter on the bottom of it. Carb looks pretty clean. Who knows what the inside of the float looks like. Can we get this boot out of our way or no? I'd like to. Give us a little bit of working room, you know. Definitely stiff. We gotta do, we'll leave that carb on there for now. Nice to pull that float ball off, see what we got. Do we have a throttle? Yeah, throttle works. What's holding it on? So like an access hole? Probably that right there, huh? Like a plug you can pop, and then there's gonna be a screw going to a clamp holding it on the backside. That's my guess. Let's get a little jack underneath it. We'll get the back tire off the ground. We'll kind of pop it in the gears and just make sure that part of it works. Clutch. Actually, we could probably fire the clutch here. The cable's no good. There's no other end to the cable. That's junk. But we'll see if that operates too. Let's see what the transmission does. Hopefully, something. That should be neutral. Let's go down. Actually, seems like it goes 2 gears down. Maybe they're all down. Come up 1, up 2, 3. Anything up? So up is nothing. So we got 1, 2. It's like 3 gears down. Yeah. All right, let's go see if we can pull that clutch in. We'll pop it in gear, leave it in gear. We'll go for like a second. We'll pull that clutch in, make sure that that is not stuck. We'll try to come up with something to pull up on that cable. Think we can get it with a wrench maybe? I think or the nut just gonna back off. Oh, that's like a 10. I think the nut's just gonna back off. Let's see what we get. Yeah. Yeah. Let's go grab it with those water pump pliers. Feels like it's got a lot of travel there, you know? Yeah, the cable's not even on it anymore. So that'll be... Right. I feel like it has anything. Let's right. Yeah, there's something wrong with the clutch. Got shafted by a 10-year-old that sold it to me. It's actually his dad. All right, so there's no clutch. Because you can't even pull up on any higher on the cable than that anyway. Just want to double check. So we got to go in a little further. What about right there? Hold on. We might be okay. There it goes. But it's like way up. Like, do you think that's how far it would pull? It seems kind of excessive, doesn't it? From there to there. Can it adjust? Like it's not a cam. Alright, we'll let that be for now. At least it does something. Anything else you want to go check on? Looks like they put a kill switch on it. Made a kill switch. Right there. It's kind of a sucky place to go and grab it, right? Oh, no, it's headlight. That's what it is. Running power to the headlight. And then it had another wire. It's like feeding it somewhere. And it's connected to the coil. There's one down there. Is there 2 there? And one going to the coil. And that probably is just power for the headlight. I'll see on that. Anything else we should check? I think we're okay. Let's go. I'm gonna pop you back in the stand. We'll just check the swing arm. We should probably spin the rims. See how they look. The front end does not look caved in. If it is, it's not bad. A lot of times that's the case. You usually see a busted up headlight. I think one of the handlebars are, yeah, the handlebars are flopping around. It looks like that weld's broke, huh? How about this one? This looks pretty good. Alright, you know what we could do? Let's go take a peek inside that gas tank. Yeah, I know, right? It says lift and turn. The whole cap or just that? That seems like it's a vent. Yeah. It's been a day or 2 since it's run, huh? Hopefully there's no holes right through it. Let's go get a little light and take a peek on the inside. Yeah. Oof. Looking pretty scaly. There's no petcock in it. And it's got like an even layer of rust all the way around. Actually, it looks like it might be to the point where it wants to go through. I wonder if that's a coating somebody put in there a long time ago. You can see like the rot up here too. How much is that? Looks like a pipe thread they welded on, doesn't it? This one's pretty bad looking. People say, why don't you put vinegar in it? I think there's any holes directly through it. Maybe we'll try some acid. Let the acid eat the rust out. We don't have to worry about getting the paint screwed out. They already screwed that up. Yeah, we'll that way we can screw with other things while this is doing its thing. Let's go see if we can get like a cork to shove in there to keep the crap from coming out of it. And maybe we'll fill it up and let that sit and bubble away. We'll see how acid does on a tank. Yeah, so we get all the little tiny ones are on the bottom. Of course they are. That might do it right there. Does acid eat cork? Guess we're gonna find out. Let's go try to find like a big pan or something we can set it in. That way, if it does spring a leak, there's not like a rot hole in the floor of the shop. I got it sitting in a drain pan. I took a plastic bag, put it over it. I thought I had 2 gallons of this. I only have the 1. So if we don't want to spill it, you can tell I've used it before because it's clear and it's new. I already dribbled down on the Bondo, so that's going to rot right off of there. Hopefully I don't splash the camera. I'm on my backup camera right now. I went to go film. And look at the lens, there's a crack going across the lens of the other one. Yeah, I think we're going to need about 2 of these. That'll give us a start though. What we could probably do is maybe we'll like rock it around a little bit just to wet the walls. I'm not going to put the gas cap on it because it'll eat the gas cap. Let's just see if we can kind of... Plus I think I see a leak right there. Did that just dribble out of that hole? Let's go see. Yeah, there's a hole right there. That's probably what they Bondoed over. Oh well. All right, let's keep going. It is what it is, right? Might end up having to seal it because of that. I don't know if you're able to. Just quite out of frame. Right there where that drip comes running down, it leaked right there. So if we fill it up to that point, it's all going to piss out anyway. All right. Let's let that sit and play with something else. Chances are it's got something in the crankcase. Let's see, that wasn't even tight. It's got a crack in it too. Yeah, the corner's falling off. Let's see if anything comes out of it. I don't know if that would have had a dipstick in it. Or is there like a lot of times there's a sight glass, a little window you could poke through. Let's see if it's got a drain plug. We'll drain out whatever's in there. Again, for sitting for so long, could be some water in there. All right, place your bets. You think we're gonna get anything out of it? Look how loose that engine is. I'm gonna say yeah. I say we'll get some stuff out. Not a drop. And I'll say it's gonna be clean too. Being hopeful. Actually, I wouldn't exactly call that full. Yeah, it's definitely low. I've just got a magnet on the tip for checking goo. Not bad. Yeah, we'll let that run for a little bit. I don't know if we need the cap off for vent. Let's see if that improves anything. Nah, it made a difference. Let that piss out for a while. I don't know how much it would take to go back in. Like, what would you use for a dipstick? Again, you would think it'd be like a window or something we can kind of go see. It's generally just enough because this oil has nothing to do with the crankcase. Let's check that a little bit more. So the bottom of the crank is right here, and that's going to be sealed off from the gearbox. It's not part of the gearbox. This gear oil that's in here has nothing to do with the crankshaft. It's not like a regular car where the has an oil pump and uses that oil for lubricating the bottom end. It's a two-stroke oil. Gas and oil goes in through the carb. Uses the bottom of the crankcase. That's on this one. That's why the carb is on the side of the crankcase. That misty kind of oil sticks to all the components on the bottom of the crank, and that's where the crank gets its oil. A lot of times they're roller bearings too. I think most of the time they're a roller bearing, so they're not reliant on like a regular crankshaft and camshaft it's oh, you want to use this, I guess, for example. You know, the thin layer of oil that gets pumped into the crankshaft actually keeps the connecting rod away from the crankshaft by a thin layer of oil in between here. Well, this system doesn't operate on that. It just has like little roller bearings going around there that touch on both sides of it. And if there's no oil, of course, then it goes metal on metal, and that's when a regular 4-stroke engine burns up. All right, we could probably maybe chase some hardware. I was looking at it. There is another bolt down here. So there's a bolt here and a bolt here. Both of them are loose, and then there's one that is back a little further. I knew we were able to see it from the other side. Is it under there? So let's go get them cranked up, see if we can get the engine kind of stable in its holster. Lack of better ways to go put that. And I wonder if we are supposed to or are missing some kind of cradle that came and grabbed this one here. Maybe we'll look it up and see if we can find any pictures of it. Yeah, I found a picture of one. I don't see anything. It looks like it's open underneath there. Everything else looks like what we got. It looks like that seat's quite, if that's a factory seat, it's the long seat, huh? And it looks like it had a pan underneath the seat too. Come on. Yeah, it's like they had a pan underneath it that I'm missing. Air cleaner looks right. Looks like there's a switch for the headlight. That's normal. Is that a bracket on the handlebars? I gotta stop touching it. It's a joke there. Looks like there's a bracket there to hold the cables, whether that's factory or not. That one's got an air freshener on the handlebars. It stinks. Cables I think we can make up. That shouldn't be an issue. Alright. It had covers on the foot peg. We got covers on the foot pegs. Looks like the only thing we're missing is the seat. And whatever that would be. Probably come up with something else. Well, at least like to get to that float bowl. I don't know if that's a plug or a thread, or let's see if we can get that out of there. I think it's a plug. And that should give us access. It's kind of gooey. To some kind of screw going down, and maybe we can slide that whole carburetor right out and flip it up and get the float bolt off and see how nasty it looks. So I hit the cover with my purse and got it to move. I'm being wimpy about it. Just kind of, and see if we get that to do. See if that carb will wiggle out of there. There we go. And let's see if we can get that bowl off of there. Can you see? What do you think? The oil looked pretty clean. The carb looks pretty clean. The carb is going to be clean anyway, though, because it's enclosed. It's not out in the open like a lot of bikes are. Well, bikes are on the side of the cylinder head. Cylinder, rather. See, the gas line was disconnected from it, and the gas tank was off of it, so hopefully it was run totally out of fuel. And we just dust it off and put it back together. If not, we'll take it the rest of the way off, and we'll soak it. I guess we can kind of backfeed it with a little temporary fuel can, so we can keep the motor running. Ready? Work? Not yet. Okay. The gas gets stuck to half of one and half of the other. The anticipation. Come on. Ready? Dun, dun, dun. Well, not bad. And what it is, too, a lot of times the oil runs down, the fuel evaporates, and the oil settles to the bottom. I think we'll have to take it off and clean it anyway, though. It does look a little on the cruddy side. So let's go see if we can get... The slide should just unthread. while we're in here, right? Nothing worse than putting it all back together and then you find out like it won't idle because the idle jet's clogged or something. Let's get rid of that. Looks pretty good. And then we gotta get it. That looks like an 11 millimeter. Of course, I don't have that. I got a 10 and a 12. It might be 12. 12 it is. That should be the choke. And I have like a little barrel on the end of it too. Looks pretty good. Can we get that fuel line off of there? And we'll take it with it. How's that? We'll just slide it right out. I should change that anyway. Let's go around the bench. We'll just pop the jets out real quick and we'll get that soaking in the ultrasonic cleaner. Yeah, it still smells like a rancid kind of fuel too. Good thing. Get that pin out of there. And the needle should, I don't know if the needle comes out or not. Might be one of the ones that are retained. Find out. Yeah, it comes out. And these have a little spring in the back side of it. And it still functions. It doesn't look terrible. I don't know what it's got for a seal. That one actually looks like it might be brass on brass. Yeah. There's no seal inside there. Let's get the jet out of it. This is generally where it gets gooey. It doesn't allow the fuel to come up. And I don't know if I got too big. Need a small screwdriver. I could even see a bunch of crap right here. And these get clogged too. I'm gonna hold it up to the light, see if you can see through it. I cannot. So, good thing we took it apart. You needed it. Let's, you got an air fuel mix over here. Let's go half, one. So it was one turn out. Remember that. It's that guy. See if we can get that seal off of there. Not breaking it. Rather not soak that. It'll come back 4 times its original size. Yeah. It's stuck right under there. Should we take the needle out of it? We should probably get rid of this too, huh? I'll put a new one on anyway. Leave the clamp on. We'll tighten that up a little bit. I think that's it. We got nothing down there. And we should probably try and get. If it doesn't put up a fight, we'll take it out. Good place for a socket, huh? Yeah, I'll throw a wrench on that and we'll go soak it. A couple of people over the years have sent me pipe cleaners to go clean out the jets, but they don't go small enough. So I always try to take a wire brush, take a bristle, just bend it to the side, and just do a little mining. If you run that all the way through. Okay, so that's to dig up the gum, and it's got a couple of little side ports to go do the same. My eyes suck so bad. Okay. I'm gonna go do it underneath the light, but you get the idea. I'm just gonna go run through, make sure all those ports are cleaned. There we go. There's that one. And it's just the same the other three. Kind of clean that one carb cleaner. I'm not gonna put that one in the ultrasonic because it's so small. I'll end up losing it. Let's get this one soaking though. Yeah, I wiped out the crap that was in the bottom of that bowl, and it's still like feels like a hard plastic that's on it. It will scrape out. See what the fluid does though. And we'll give her some heat. Turn that on, and we'll vibrate that sucker. Say probably now's a good time. I'll go to lunch and grab. Try to get some more muriatic acid. I might have some in the other garage. I'll go check first, but if not, I'll grab another jug so we can fill up that gas tank a little more. I don't know, is it me or does it look like it's developing wet spots there? Or were they already there? I don't know. Let's try to keep the goo in. I got another jug, let's top it off. Yeah, I have a feeling they put that Bondo on there to try to seal the holes up. Be my guess. Oh, I screwed it all up, man. Definitely holds a lot of fuel for a little tiny bike. I don't go higher than that, I'll be higher than that point. But we'll do the same thing, we'll swish it around a little. We'll get all that stuff wet. See what it does, try to get the neck of it too. Living on the edge. Just a cork fall out of the bottom. Yeah. Anyway, with that set, go check on that carburetor. Yeah, see how lunch is cooking. She's tad warm, that's a good sign. See what that did for that sludge that was in the bottom of the bowl. That come out of it. Yeah, pretty much. Let's go hose it off. Just kind of neutralizes the fluid. Don't need hot water. That looks pretty good. I just blew out compressed air. It's got some staining in the bottom of it, but it's clean. Same with that. Looks like they use glue to glue the gasket on. Right there. I think I'm going to leave that stuff alone. It's probably going to fill a void on the gasket where a void happens to be. So I'll just kind of pat them down. We'll squeeze them back together as they were. I'm just going to reassemble things just as it came apart. Nothing, I don't think we need to go show all that. Putting 4 screws back together. I see if we can wiggle that carburetor back in there. Reinsert our goodies. There's a pin that has to get aligned with that groove. Once you got it, it'll allow it to drop all the way down. If not, you could. There's a chance that you could, if you did it backwards or sideways, it'll screw together, but it'll run full throttle on you. So we're just going to make sure that's not the case. Yeah, you can see it in there too. It's like they have the idle speed turned up fairly decent, or the slide is. See how much airspace is down below there? You may just have that cranked up. Yeah. So there's no stop. Sometimes there's a screw with a stop on it, which it will have the throttle come down to a certain position. We'll have to adjust that once it's running. So we'll leave all this loose. Let's get that choke back on there. It's actually an enrichment circuit. I'm calling it a choke. Make sure it's clean. It opens a passage when you pull up on it and allows more fuel to come in. Normally, like on a choke, you have a butterfly that shuts off the side of the carburetor, and when you do that, like you cup your hand over it, now it's going to try sucking more fuel up through the jets. That's how a choke works. This works a little bit different. This works with, like I said, just opening another circuit and allowing fuel to get drawn through that circuit. Right tool for the right job. I see that's loose also too. So my guess is maybe they were fooling around with it, trying to get it to run halfway decent. Maybe it didn't idle because the idle circuit was clogged, but that also could have happened later on. That's tight. I'm gonna run that in a little bit. And that's got a little lever. You can physically see the window open up. I'm not sure that's supposed to be open on the end there. That might, I'm not sure on that. That might have to have a cap on it. Usually you can't see that circuit. We'll see what happens. If it doesn't want to idle, we know that's the case and we're missing something over the outside edge here. I don't see any marks though where something would have been. You know what I mean? Alright, let's see if we can wiggle that back into place. As far as we can. Beefier screwdriver. We should probably take we'll run some fuel through it. Maybe we'll just fill the float bowl up. I got some of the good gas line. I'll get that on there. And we'll fill the fuel line up. We still got to put oil in the crankcase. What's that? What's it, neoprene? What's the name of that fuel line? It's pretty good for bikes. Plus you can see what you got for fuel going in. And it doesn't get taken out by the ethanol, if you're using ethanol. That should be good. What we'll do is we'll fill the line up separate so it'll run on it. Let's put that drain plug back in. How many you were writing down earlier that it's got a plug on the side? So when we fill it up and it starts pissing out of that plug, we know we got it. That's the level. So it doesn't take very much. It's just enough to kind of wet the bottom of the gears. And once the gears are spinning, it just kind of tracks through all the gears and keeps them all wet and floating. Because you're only talking, that probably was about all it holds. Let's go find out. It doesn't look terribly dirty. There's a little bit of crap in there. A little metallic, a little bit of brassy bits. Yeah. I don't see what it takes, but that's pretty thin. It doesn't look like it's gear oil to me. I think it's just motor oil. So I got some motorcycle motor oil. What is this? 40 weight, 1040. And it's designed for wet clutches, so we should be okay in this application. Because on a 4-stroke, the gearbox and the crankcase are the same thing. Let's go put that pan under there. Same space, so what the engine's pumping through also goes through the gears. I think on most of them. Some might have it a little independent. Like a Harley's got a separate transmission and engine. So I'm going to keep doing that until it pisses out that little pee hole down there. Oops. I think I've already exceeded what came out. You get the idea. I feel like something should have came out already. Let's go make sure that hole's open. Yeah, it is. Keep going. There we go. See bubbles. Let's give it a little bit more. One more shot. We'll just kind of let it level out. Yeah, now she's peeing. Took almost half a bottle. Try firing it before we try firing it up. Let's see if we can get rid of that. See if we can find a bolt that'll fit where it's missing. That lower one's not missing a bolt. It's just the way it is. Tighten up what we got though. Oh, it feels a loose one. Of course the drain plug's in the way. Yeah, that was tight. So you can get on, buzz on that bottom. Yeah, we're up about 6-7 feet in the air. Let's go fill that fuel line up. And hopefully it doesn't piss out the bottom of the carburetor. And that's going to be about all we got. Which is a good thing because it's full. Kind of watch that line. If that line continues to keep dropping all the way down, that means the carb is leaking. See what it does. Be like the needle and seat, you know. Looks like it's holding. Alright, let's go clear some junk off the bench so we don't kick it. See if she fires up. Let's turn the choke on. Leave a little screwdriver on the table. We're tweaking. We got throttle. And again, like I said, that should be choke. See what happens. That was easy. How low you have to go. See if we'll take any throttle. That sounds pretty good, huh? Give her a little tweak. We'll run it into a run scrappy. Goes right about where it should be. Gas level's right there. Let's go bump it in gear. First. Second. Seems quiet. Third. Chain's jumping all over the place, but let's go rev it up. Get my fuel. Come down there. Does he have a kill switch anywhere? And it works. All right, good. Anything pissing out of it anywhere? Transmission seemed nice and quiet. Doesn't think I was smoking much. That looks a little wacky, huh? Might just be the fender. Nice. Anything dripping? Looks pretty dry. I think we're pretty good on that. Let's we could probably work on maybe some of the cabling stuff, get the clutch working. How are our tires doing? And we still got air in it. And we still got air in it. Yeah, maybe we'll take that clutch cable right out of there and see what we can come up with to work for one. Make one out of something. So that's what it's got on that end. And I don't know what we have missing. Problem is, how would we change, like how would we be able to keep that part of it, because it doesn't fit over the cable, without taking it apart? Right? Like, you'd have to get a cable with that already on it, because it would have another end on it. You wouldn't be able to take it apart. I wonder if we can get like a barrel or something, one of the ones that thread on it and you lock down with a screw. Let's go see what we got. Maybe we'll come up with something. Yeah, the other end's still in the grip. It's still whatever that is. Maybe it is one of those. My guess is they kind of make that cable all one. I think the little frayed off edge is keeping it from coming out. I'm going to take the grip right off of there. We'll peek at it in the bench, try to get it. Well, actually, we're missing the hardware for here too, aren't we? Shouldn't there be a like a jack screw on that side? Don't mind the fan noise. Clear the air out a little bit. Yeah, man. Almost out. Thought I had it. That just cable ripped out of it. I still kind of wonder on that other end if that's correct as far as how high it was grabbing. So right now it is grabbing what touches, like right there. A mark on the side of the case. Let's try loosening that jam screw up and see if we can run it in. See if we can get it with adjustment. See if that'll help us at all. A lot. Seemed kind of weird how far that was out too, right? Let's see if that did anything for us. Yeah, now it's grabbing right there. That seems more normal. Let's make sure that that still works as a clutch. Yeah. So, right there. Seems about the normal position that you would think. You know, it's got the free play where you're not riding the clutch. We could probably even take more than that out of it. Let's go a little bit more. That's probably why the cable broke too. They probably were trying to choke up on it more and more. Finally, they just trashed it. Still doesn't help us for getting a cable that's going to work though. Alright, so now it grabs. We are, the old mark is right there. And now we're here. Let's see if we dig up for a cable. Yes, I got these little cable ends. And they're like a VW heater box and carburetor we use. And they're really not meant for like a brake or a clutch. So I don't think they have that much gripping power. I think you'd be able to, although you can like tighten up on it, I think you can kind of pull through any of these. Crack them open. The other part is how fat they are too, right? We got to be able to fit in that grip. Actually, we could probably drill right through that, right? The handle, it's not open on both sides. And if we were to get like that one, maybe a little smaller, that one, we could probably drill that hole open too for the cable. That cable's crappy too though, huh? It's all frayed out. I wonder if we can cut the jacket back a little bit, cut the cable so we have some cleaner material. I'm gonna lay this back in there. I want to see how much length we have to play with. If it's taut, then we're just gonna have to get a whole nother setup. Yeah, I hooked it up on the other end and you ran it the way it's supposed to go. We got plenty of room. We got a lot of slack in it. So my guess is we can, whatever we cut off on the cable, and then that much more. The adjustment's all the way down now too, so. Well, we can actually just tweak it. The problem is we can't there's no place to let this hang out. You know, there's no, once it's in the hole there's not like a through hole. We drill that too. I don't want to make it too weak. Let's go get that little barrel. We'll see how far that six, if we don't have to drill the back of it. That'll even fit in there. Yeah, so we're gonna have to do some modifying anyway. Let's okay, let's go pop that thing off of there and we'll try to modify this little handle so it'll work for us. We should probably check on that gas tank. Maybe a big pile of goo in that pail. Yeah. I don't see a ton of fluid down below it. It's a good sign. We'll let that go a little bit longer. Let's see if we can cut the end of that back to good material, which looks like about right there. It's getting a little hot. Now hopefully we can slide it right out of the jacket without it separating. We'll pull it back a little. And I think I got new ferrules. Sometimes these come off. I'm not that concerned about that. I think I got new ones of those. Let's get, oh, where's the piece that we took off? So we took off about that much. Let's go that and a little more. Gooey. Let's go push that cable back through there. There you go. That should give us enough room to work with. Let's see if we can find a ferrule. Let's try to get that old one out first. Let's give her something to pry off. There you go. She's a little squished. We can de-squish it. The other thing too is, oof, yeah, it took a hit, huh? Is I think we're supposed to have some kind of, up in that bracket, the top I think might have been missing something too. Like an adjuster. Let's go pop that on the end of the cable and we'll take a peek at it. Maybe the little burnt piece of plastic is getting us. We get a wire cutter. Get rid of that. How about now? There you go. That part's good. Yeah, let's go look at that where it goes into the handlebar. Because it can't be just this, right? I mean, maybe. Seems kind of sloppy though. Yeah, maybe that's all it is. Maybe it's kind of spread open. I think it is. Yeah. I don't know if I want to try squeezing out with pliers though and cracking it, because we should be able just to come up and do that. So you're gonna try one of the VW throttle cable ones. And what I did was I went through the index and I just waited till I kind of fan through till I found one that fit through the hole. So that's the bit we're gonna try opening it up to. Let's give it a shot. Again, like it's blind on the other side. We're gonna go all the way through it. Hopefully it's not too weak. That's my only concern, is that because we're pulling on this surface right here. I'm gonna have to go through there. That's a pretty good fit. I have to open it up a hair. Yeah, I just punched you in the face. You had it coming. I wonder if we should drill a clearance hole where the cable can continue through, and then we can use it as an adjustable spot. If not, we're going to have to try to figure out right where the cable goes and then screw it down, and that's it. Maybe we'll drill a little pinhole coming through the back, give it somewhere to go. I guess we're going to want it as small as possible, so let's go and find out which one the cable fits. That one. I don't think we're going to make it one size down. That might be the one we're going to go for. It can do it. Let's go start with the tinier one first. We could always open it up a little more if it doesn't want to play well. Hey, we want to go right about there. You were waiting for me to break it, weren't you? Now hopefully we can kind of weave that cable through that location. The only thing I think might be an issue is that I think the barrel wants to kind of roll a little bit when you're pulling the lever. Like the cable wants to change position, and we might have screwed that up a little bit. Let's see what we get. Guess what? We got it apart. Let's take the one opportunity to give it a good oil in so it won't last forever. Less drag too. See if it pisses out the other end. We'll just run that. Stop it. So the oil dumped halfway out. It's because there's a crack right there. It seems like it's fairly bad. Let's see if we get a piece of shrink tubing. We'll put it over there to help support it. Don't need all that. Right there. Let that cool off. We do one more over the top of it. What do you think? Yeah, give a little bit more support. Just a big hunk of it here. Just cut off another section. Good for keeping the weather out of it too, you know. If you got a break in it, it's right where water can get in. I'll do one more. Try to get it to stay flat as possible too. We need a little more gas. Yeah, I should do it. You can dip it in cold water too, it kind of help hold its place. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna go do. Well, see if all the pieces will fit together. Let's just try running that through first. So the other end's already set up with the slack all the way forward. And we're gonna need to be able to get into. And it looks like it's gonna be. I should have opened up that hole just a little more because it feels like it's kind of finicky to. Let's see what we get. Maybe it doesn't even need to go that far. I think I got a burr on there. Go clean that up a little. Can you get in there? I want to go a little larger. Yeah. Shouldn't be in there all that much. Just a little more room. Get in there. Let's try that again. Can you see? Kind of, sort of. Yeah, so we need the barrel to fit. And you gotta get the cable. Actually, you could probably put the cable through now. Right? Yeah. Does that work? We can maybe pull it back over it because the clutch has got spring to it anyway, right? Let's see if we can. That's what I'm afraid of. It's just going to pull right out of there, you know. We try redoing it. We'll get a better bite on it. Make sure it closes up all the way. I'm going to do the same thing without you in the way because you got a fat head and I just can't see around you. And I'm going to do my best to try to get that print on there with a better bite. So I ended up taking a whole lever right off and I fed it through. There's the cable right there at the end. So it is through whatever that distance. The only thing, like I said, as you squeeze it, it doesn't have the capacity to rotate to follow it, but it doesn't look like it's that bad. And let's go screw with the other end. Get that adjusted out and see if we got a functioning clutch. Yeah, you need something called free play, so you don't want it so that the clutch drags all the time. Let's go try to run that play in there a little bit. Give a squeeze on that. So right there it starts to grab. Let's see. Kind of sticky a little bit, huh? Let's try right there. We should probably fire it up and see if like we're grabbing and not grabbing. It doesn't seem like it's rolling out quite right. I might have it too tight. There it goes. So right there. Let's go pop it in gear and see if that back tire spins. You know what I mean? We can still adjust the cable too. We still have. We're all the way in. So the clutch is still dragging right now. Let's go take that adjustment. We'll run it up some. Still dragging. Again, I don't want to go too much where it pulls the cable out, you know? Yeah, we gotta take some more slack out of the center. I'm sure there's a procedure for this. You know what my procedure is? Us tightening this down. You don't think that popped out of it? Let's go take that nut right off of there. Let's see if it popped out of its like channel. I wonder if it's like keyed and it's not even in there. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think that is not locked into where it needs to go. I knew something felt kind of weird. Yeah, we gotta get that onto that little cam. That's why I don't want the tension. Actually, you want a little higher. You probably take that spring off. It's going to fight us too much. Get on there. Almost went. What if that plastic's beat up where it's not allowing it? I'm going to take that spring off. Put it back on later. Just so I'm not fighting it. Yeah, pops right on. All right. That's more like it. That's all off altogether. The cable's off, everything's off. All right, I'm gonna have to move you. I'm gonna go do that and bring you back because I need to get in front of it, trying to work to my side. I'll let the spring off for now. Just see what we got. That feels like it's doing what it should. Let's go see if the back tire goes in and out of gear. Yep. And then back in gear. And then out of gear. So like I said, we need a little free play though. Do we have that? Doesn't feel like it. So I gotta back off that center just a hair. Let's go run that out just a little bit. Lock it. Again, that spring's still gonna pull down for us. But I wanna see if I got, before it starts squeezing on the clutch, I'm gonna give it a little bit more because we're still, you know, the adjustment's all the way in up here too, so. What do I want to do, go out, right? Yeah, let's go out a little more. And then as it wears, you would tighten up on that. That feels pretty good right there. It's got some slack before it starts opening the plates. What this is a rod that goes through and there's a clutch pack on the other side and it's on a spiral. So as you do that, there's a inner and outer plates. One's connected to the engine part of it, one's connected to the transmission part. And they separate from each other and they collapse and they get spring-loaded pressure on them. Right now they're spring-loaded together. You squeeze the lever, it pulls them apart and allows them to spin freely from each other. I think that's pretty good. I'm gonna go tighten everything down, we'll leave that adjustment where it is, and I'll pop the spring back on it. That spring just kind of keeps it, you know, so you're not essentially riding the clutch. You definitely a big difference from when it was before. I think when we took it apart, that was showing about 12 threads. What do we got now? About 4 or 5. Let's put that spring on there. There we go. Are we good? Do we get a functioning clutch? I'd say so. We got that much is free play. And spring's about perfect. All right. Another thing off the list. So we got functioning throttle cable, choke, clutch, engine's bolted down. Can we put this back together? Is there any reason why we can't cover that up? I say we fill that fuel line back up again and fire it up. Just kind of run through the gears, make sure we got everything okay and the clutch is working okay. You really can't tell if the clutch is any good, unfortunately, until you put it on the ground. That's all it's taken. It's got some air in it. We're filled to right there. Let's see what we get. I'm gonna check the rear brakes too. That's how we can check the clutch too. I'm gonna try to pull my clutch in. Yeah, clutch works good and it frees up. Nice. We got good components. All our bits and pieces function like they should. It's just all the other crap that's busted off of it. Yeah, that fuel tank. I think it's time maybe we should dump out what's in it. See what we got going on. Hey, where'd all the fluid go? I thought it was, it's probably just crap floating. Yeah, I thought that was the bottom of the tank. It's not, it's just the crap floating around. Let's go dump that out, see if it did anything for us. Definitely gonna want to put some glasses on for this, some gloves. Let's go dump that out. Hopefully a bunch of crap comes out with it. Let's do a little bit of that. It didn't blow any holes out the bottom. Usually the bottom is what fails, not rusted out in the top like that. It actually looks pretty good. Let me work on getting that out. Oof, the fumes. Gotta open the door. That'll clear the nostril hairs right out. I'm gonna go rinse that out with water. I could already see bare metal in the bottom. That's a good sign, huh? Yeah, let's go see. Well, that's definitely an improvement, huh? Well, I think the only place that's going to have an issue, there's a little bit of crud still over there, huh? Is right above us, because we weren't able to get it up to the top. Yeah, I could feel it. Kind of peel it off. I'm undecided whether we want to seal it. Where's that hole? Was one of those, wasn't it? It's not like right. It's up there somewhere. Maybe get something to stab at it. Yeah, see if you can find it. Nope. That was. That was right there. That might be it. I think that's it. That's it now. It's got a vent hole. Yeah, maybe we should. The thing is that I don't want to leave this with the acid in overnight. Getting ready to jack it up for tonight. Let's go take a buzz wheel, kind of clean off that area a little bit. It's all Swiss cheese. I see a whole bunch of holes. Oh, she's screwed. That's odd too. It's odd that it's on the top side. Let that compressor shut off. Well, let's go take a look. Hopefully not every place where this green putty is where it's leaking. Let's go see what the other side's like. Well, I think I may go look on eBay for a tank because that is just toast. Yeah, it looks like it was probably like half full, and wherever was above all failed, and then like lower was okay. I don't know what they used for putty. It did actually hold up fairly well. I'm surprised. We filled it up with acid and it stayed, but it's going to be, yeah, the whole thing is going to be that way all the way up through there. Put a light behind there. It's going to look like a solar system. Yeah, I'm not exactly concerned about restoring this bike to a restored bike neither. Yeah, I don't really care about trying to make her mint, you know, just making it functional as a mini bike. I wonder if we can get away with some other kind of tank, like a Honda. I don't know what's got that kind of tank shape. Plus, you know, we got to come up with a seat anyway, so. I don't know, I'm going to do a little bit of hunting on eBay, see what shows up, you know, but there's one for 50 to 75 bucks I may go for it, but, you know, generally gas tanks are the one thing that, if they're good, everybody wants, and they're like $300-400. I'm not spending $300 or $400 on this. Guys, unfortunately, I didn't think I was going to try to get it all done in one video. We still got a bunch of stuff to get knocked out yet, and I think we're going to do that on part 2. But we got it running, shifting, brakes work, fuel system's doing okay, spark's good. Just needs, you know, a bunch of love. We got to fix the handlebar setup yet. whatever is busted out of the welds there. I can literally see the weld is broken right there. So you gotta take all that stuff apart, free it up. But I think we'll make something out of her. Yeet. Alright guys, with that I'm gonna go sign off. Thank you all for hanging out and watching. Someday if I ever get that done, look like it'll fit right in the back of that color wise. Cool. Alright, till the next one. I'll see you. I think the only thing I have that resembles a tank is that, but it's not gonna have a groove in the center, is it? No. Well, worst case maybe. There's that motorcycle show coming up next week, so I may try holding off and see if I can find a tank, something to fit on there, and you can continue on. So maybe a little bit of skip in the video as we're waiting for a tank, unless I find something in the near future. Wait a minute. How about, will that look stupid on there? I think we're going to be screwed with these bars, how fat they are. It'll fit in the front. I don't know, maybe go let it sit proud. Be proud. I bet you we kick that seat back some. I don't know.